So in this video we will be discussing about the leprosy. Okay, leprosy is a non-fatal disease. It is a chronic disease and it is a infectious disease. That means it is caused by an infection by the Mycobacterium leprae. It is caused by the Mycobacterium leprae. Mycobacterium leprae is also called the Hansen's bacillus. Mycobacterium leprae is also called Hansen's bacillus. Okay. Leprosy is a disease of high infectivity but low pathogenicity. That means it is highly infective but less pathogenic. Okay. What are the main organs affected? Skin and peripheral nerves. Skin and the peripheral nerves are the main organs that are affected in the leprosy. The major cause of the morbidity is due to two reasons. First is the unique tropism of Mycobacterium leprae for peripheral nerves. That means it lobs the peripheral nerves. Okay, Mycobacterium leprae lobs to invade in the peripheral nerves. Second, certain immunologically mediated reactional state. Okay, so the main causes of morbidity in the leprosy are due to two reasons. One is a unique tropism of Mycobacterium leprae for the peripheral nerves, and the second is the certain immunologically mediated reactional states. Okay, etiology. Leprosy, Mycobacterium leprae is an obligate intracellular bacillus. Okay, why it is obligate? That means it needs host, okay, to survive. Okay, why it is obligate intracellular parasite? Because Mycobacterium leprae due to reductive evolution. Okay, there was a reductive evolution in the Mycobacterium. Only half genes are functional. Okay, due to reductive evolution, there was a reduction evolution which leads to the making only half genes functional. So making it obligate intracellular bacillus. That means it depends on host biochemical support. So we can target our drugs here. So we can target the drugs here. Okay, it is confined to Mycobacterium leprae is confined to humans, armadillos, and sphagnum mouse. It is also a acid-fast bacillus like Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it is detected in the tissue smear stain by modified Feit stain. Modified Feit stain. Okay, we have to remember the fact that the Mycobacterium leprae is non-toxic. It does not produce any toxin. Okay, and in untreated cases also, only 1% is viable. Okay, and the cell wall of the Mycobacterium leprae is special because cell wall contains PGL1. It means phenolic glycolipid. Okay, and this unique trisaccharide binds to basal lamina of Schwann cells. Okay, we'll discuss all these in detail, okay, in the later videos, but this is just an introduction, and it has not been cultivated in artificial medium or tissue culture. However, it has been cultivated in the mouse food pad. And most important thing is it grows in cooler tissue. Okay, cooler tissues. What are the cooler tissues? Like skin, peripheral knobs, anterior chamber of the eye, upper respiratory tract, and testis. So it grows in the cooler areas and it spares the warmer areas. Okay, so what are the warmer areas? Axilla, groin, scalp, midline of back. So Mycobacterium leprae grows in the cooler tissues, okay, like skin, peripheral knobs, anterior chamber of eye, upper respiratory tract, and testis, and it spares the warmer areas like axilla, groin, scalp, midline of the back. Okay, the Mycobacterium leprosy. Now coming to the epidemiology. Okay, it is mostly a disease of the rural area. Rural residents and poverty. So it is a very common disease in the Asia. Asia and Africa. Okay, Asia and Africa, because of the developing countries. Okay, but we have to remember a fact that in epidemiology, it is not associated with, unlike the Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which was associated with the AIDS, it is not associated with AIDS. Why it is not associated with AIDS? Because of leprosis long incubation period. It is not associated with the AIDS. And previously it was thought a disease of the children. Okay, but now it is believed that it can occur at any time. But we have to remember the fact that the prevalence of leprosy in child population. Okay, prevalence of the leprosy in the child population is of considerable epidemiological importance. Epidemiological importance. Why it is epidemiologically important? Because a high prevalence of infection among the children, a high prevalence of infection among the children means that disease is active and spreading in the community, active and spreading in the community. Okay. Normally, among the sex, males are more affected with the than females with the severe form of leprosy, that is lepromatous forms. Okay, so lepromatous forms are more common in the males than the females. Okay, and the sex difference among the leprosy is more common among the adults than among the children below 15 years. Okay, so in India and Africa, 90% forms are tuberculoid. Okay, in Southeast Asia, 50% forms are tuberculoid, and 50% are lepromatous. Whereas in Mexico, 90% forms are lepromatous. Okay. The attack rate of leprosy among the household contacts is 4.4 to 12%. Okay. Leprosy is also known as social disease. Why leprosy is known as social disease? Because it remained as a social stigma over many years due to the superstitious belief and characteristic deformities produced in the patients. Okay, and this is probably the oldest disease known to the mankind. Okay, and the current view is that all the patients with the active leprosy, must be considered infectious. Okay, so the prevalence pool of the leprosy, okay, in the community. The prevalence pool of the leprosy in the community is maintained by the prevalence pool. Suppose this is the prevalence pool of the leprosy in the community. It is maintained by certain inflow and outflow system. Okay. So what adds to the inflow of the prevalence? New cases. When there are new cases, it adds to the prevalence pool. Second is the relapse of the cured cases. And third is the immigration of the cases. Okay, immigration of the cases from certain other regions also adds to the prevalence pool of the community. Whereas what reduces the prevalence pool? Cure. Second is inactivation of cases. Third is death of cases. And fourth is the immigration of cases. Okay. Where leprosy treatment facilities exist, the inactivation or the cure due to the specific treatment is an important mode of elimination of the leprosy from the prevalence pool. So where there are leprosy facilities available, the most important rule is of cure and inactivation to reduce the prevalence pool. Okay, so if we can cure the cases and we can inactivate the cases, then it reduces the prevalence pool of the leprosy from the community. Okay, so what are the mode of transmission? What are the mode of transmission of the leprosy? Modes of transmission. Okay, modes of transmission. The route of transmission is uncertain. However, three routes have been proposed. Okay, and among the three routes, most common is the nasal droplet. Nasal droplet is the most common route proposed. Okay, why nasal droplet is considered important route for the transmission of leprosy? Because when we injected the nasal droplets from the patient with the leprosy, there was the infection in the immunocompromised mouse. Okay, and the sneeze of the untreated patient, contains more than 10 to the power 10 AFB. Okay, and in the nasal droplets we have also found the IgA antibodies, okay, by doing the PCR. Okay, second route is the contact with infected soil. Why the contact with the infected soil is considered a mode of transmission? Because it is a disease of rural areas. So in rural areas there is more soil, so that means the people are more exposed to the soil. So contact with the infected soil is considered an important mode of transmission. Second, in the common sites in the children are buttock and the thigh. Common sites in the children are buttocks and thigh. Okay, contact transmission. Skin to skin contact is not considered an important route of transmission. Skin to skin contact is not considered an important route of transmission. Okay, and when we investigate among the people from the endemic and the non-endemic areas, we found that in the people with the endemic areas, there is a 50% history of intimate contact. And among them only 10% eventual risks of disease acquisition. Whereas in the non-endemic areas, these figures were only 10% and 1%. That means in the non-endemic areas there was only 10% history of the intimate contact and only 1% eventual risks of disease acquisition. Okay. The other modes of the transmission is via the insect vectors like bedbugs and mosquitoes. So we have already discussed that the skin to skin contact is not considered an important route of the transmission of the leprosy. So physician and the nurses caring for the leprosy patient and the co-workers of these patients are not at risk for the leprosy. So physicians and nurses caring for the leprosy patients and co-workers of these patients are not at risk for leprosy, not at risk for leprosy. So they are not at risk for leprosy. They are not at risk for the leprosy. And the contact with a tuberculosis case carries a very low risk. So among the leprosy cases also, the tuberculosis cases carries a very low risk of transmission. Okay. And it is generally agreed that multivacillary cases are most important source of infection in the community. Okay. So in this video we have discussed about the introduction, epidemiology, and the mode of transmission of the leprosy. Thank you.